I really love what you said about, when people say no, that doesn't mean it's the end. It's like
Mm-hmm.
next time. That's the very word no means. Next
Yeah, yeah,
opportunity.
next opportunity,
Next opportunity.
next
It is
offer, go
next
for it.
offer. Yeah, and also I love your resilience, where one could say, you've experienced it. You've gone through the process of being successful in the business. You reach, one could say, the peak, and then you fall down, and yet still, get back up and
Yeah,
continue,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that's very empowering, I must say. Um, when, what I'm really curious about is that, do you have like three things, if you were to give to aspiring entrepreneurs, the guy that just want to start in his business,
Mm,
but he doesn't know where to start,
mm-hmm.
how to do it? What tips would you give us?
Uh, I don't know if there's a number. I may go more than just three. The number one thing is if you're starting out, always pay yourself first. Always, always leave something for yourself. You know, when I had 200 employees and I thought, wow, shit, I'm doing so well. After I paid everybody else, there was nothing left for me.
Mm.
Nothing to put in my savings account. I was living off of the money from the company, and I looked like I was really successful. But really, my cash flow was not enough to support so many expenses.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing would be always pay yourself. Secondly, not just pay yourself, because being your wealth is based on how much you save, not how much you earn. It's
Mm.
what's at the end of the day, how much did you put in the bank that determines your wealth. So always save. My dad told me when I was younger, always save 10% of your income. And he set that example. My dad always, when he got paid in the military, he got paid monthly, he always put 10%. He gave my mother, here's the money to put in the bank, 10%. And that meant that my father had enough money to buy, not pay cash, but had enough money to get a house in Irving when we moved there and not have to use bank financing. So that's the second thing is save. The third thing is never think of any job as being beneath you.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing I learned from my dad is that a man came to our house and he said, you know, I need somebody to come and paint because he saw me painting the house and he said, maybe Billy wants to go and paint for me.
Mm-hmm.
And he said I could pay him $5 a day. And my mother heard about this offer. She said, you ain't gonna go paint for $5 a day. And I said to my dad, Dad, should I go? He said, son, that's $5 you wouldn't have if you stayed home. I went to paint.
Mm-hmm.
That $5 means a lot when you're a kid.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of ice cream, going to the movies,
Mm-hmm.
popcorn, get a
Mm-hmm.
haircut. So my mother said, no, he's using you, that man. But my father said, it's an opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. Wow,
Yeah.
what a lessons.
The other thing is
Okay.
be a sponge, SPONGE, when you're starting out. None, whenever. That means learn, absorb from everybody. You know, look around you. What can you learn from your environment? You have to absorb every bit of information. All of that will come in handy. People say, why the hell do we study calculus in high school? I'll never use that level of mathematics. Dude, it's not the fact that you're learning calculus, it's the fact that you learn how to learn calculus.
Mm-hmm.
That's the payback. That's what sharpens your mind, is the process of learning something so difficult that
Mm-hmm.
makes no sense
Mm-hmm.
as calculus.
Mm. Yeah, openness and willingness to just learn. And in the English language, they say that the three words that one could say stop people or holding people from growing or achieving their success is that I know that.
Oh shit, we don't know anything.
that that statement, when you mention something, I don't know, maybe you come in contact with this person, when you mention something and all they say to you is like, yeah, I know that, I've
Yeah.
read that. So yeah, you sponge, open.
Yeah.
I love that. We also pay yourself first. I think in the book The Richest Man in Babylon also talk about this concept of paying yourself first.
Mm.
10%, 20%, whatever percentage that you can take, but you have to pay yourself first. And then also save, as you say, save, And I love what you said. You know, there's no such a thing as work beneath you. It's like
Oh God,
it's
that's
no,
so true, Daddy.
yeah.
I even sweep now.
Mhm.
I sweep because I like to sweep. I like any project that has a beginning point and an ending point, something
Mhm.
I can control. And thirdly, when you're sweeping, you're observing. What
Mhm.
does the gardener need to do? The pool is not clean. It needs some kind of a chemical. Oh, those birds are making a mess. You know, you
Mhm.
always can learn something when you're doing a task.
Mm, mm, mm. I love that. Absorb, absorb, absorb. So, learn from your environment and willingness to open and yeah. What's your idea of like in terms of ask? Because at the end of the day, is that our relationship with others as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
To be successful as an entrepreneur, aspiring
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneur, as a business owner, we always have a relationship with other human beings. So, what's your take on that? Like, how to develop a good relationship with others?
Um, well, something I overcame was being scared of guys.
Mm.
I was bullied as a youngster in school for being effeminate and being, well, not openly gay, but people suspected I was. So to overcome that, I had to be part of the popular group.
Mm-hmm.
I had to be one of the smart kids. I had to be one of those untouchables because I was a class officer and
Mm-hmm.
student council member. And the way I could break the ice with people was by being friendly, very friendly, and putting my hand out, extending a handshake first.
Mm-hmm.
That always startled people and made them feel warm towards me because there was a connection of, human to human
Human
contact, the
contact.
warmth of my hand, grasping their hand. And I learned to develop a very strong handshake,
Mm.
a masculine handshake, grab their hand completely. I cannot stand these half
Handshake,
handshakes.
yeah.
Give me the fucking palm, the whole thing.
The whole thing, yeah.
And when they grasp it back, that means that they feel confident with you.
Yeah.
They are happy to meet you.
Me too, yeah.
So I became a very overt, very social, very friendly, very polite, and considerate. So that, I guess, I'm not sure what the original question was, but that,
I really like that. That's
yeah.
to have a good relationship with others. I love those three things that you just mentioned: open, considerate, yeah, and yeah, those are the most powerful tools as a human being. I believe to
Mm.
have to cultivate a right relationship. Um, yeah, it's powerful. Uh, let's move on to the next question. Uh, what's something people seem to misunderstand about you, Billy?
Uh, I've noticed and have comments that people say I'm too direct or too maybe kurang sopan, a little keras with my
Not
character.
polite.
Yeah, not polite. And my response is that I don't put up with stupidity
Mm-hmm.
and laziness and closed-mindedness. Manufacturer owners say, well, we can't do that. It's not possible. I always say, have you tried it? Just try it, dude. I mean, this house is an example. This is all shiny oil-based paint.
Yeah.
And then I wanted the ceiling to be, glossy, like a mirror.
Yeah.
And the painter said, no, there's no way to paint ceilings oil-based. Have you tried Solin King? Have you done it? No. Just do it. I'm paying for the materials. I'm paying you to do it. Just do it.
Yeah.
And the result is now he offers the same thing to his customers. So that's so people take my directness and my sternness as being not uneducated, but impolite. But it's not. I just don't put up with stupidity. I don't put up with negativism, and don't tell me no.
Mm-hmm.
I thank Ava Scalara for that expression. She has a famous song on Spotify called "Don't Tell Me No."
Don't tell me no.
Because she's been a person that's confronted so much negativism in her life. You can't have a business in the bottle. You can't be a woman. You can't be single. You can't do this. You can't do that. She said, fuck that. Don't tell me no.
I can relate to that. Uh, early on my journey, my own brother say, "Hey, come on, you want to what? Go to Australia? You couldn't even speak English."
Yeah.
And so my own brother said that, and so
Is this
it's
the
a
brother
big,
that I know?
no, actually the biggest one. So it's very disempowering when your own family said that to you.
Right.
So I learned early on, never let. It doesn't matter if it's your brother, or it doesn't matter if it's your friends, but never let them to pull you down or say that you can't do something.
Right.
Because as Henry Ford once said, whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, either way you are right. So
Yeah.
I would rather think that I can
Yeah.
do something rather than I can't.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So my last question is that what makes you feel inspired or like your best self?
Nothing gets me off more than walking to a store that has beautiful merchandise that's beautifully displayed. That energizes me. That reinforces my belief that we love to be surrounded by beauty. Human beings, we need luxury. We should start with our bathroom being the cleanest, most fragrant, most white place in our home. Then move to the bedroom, get the best sheets that you can afford, the best pillow that you can afford, the best mattress that you can afford, and just appreciate that little world that you're building to surround yourself. So knowing that human beings want to be surrounded by beauty is empowering to me, impassions me, and the fact that I'm in the business that can create that beauty for other people and for myself. I make samples for myself first. I mean, this jewelry, come on, dude, that's overload, but I just love looking at it. Each one tells me a story, Just the techniques used to make these beautiful things is inspiring.
Yeah.
So I make samples for myself, and I appreciate the fact I'm in the business that I can get the samples. I can buy just one piece from the factory.
That's amazing.
We have a